Yeah. Are you acting in every game step, or are you like, is every unit taking an action in every game step?
Yeah, C++ is performant enough so we can afford to take decision every game steps. And we also loop through all our units to decide what action they should take based on what they see around them. So usually every frame, every unit get an action, unless it's an action that is very similar to the previous one. So we can reduce a little bit the number of action, because there's a bug in the game that after too many action have been sent to the game, the action will be executed in a random order, and the units just do.
They just run around everywhere and
they don't respond to the action we send them.
So to avoid this problem, what we do with the workers is the minimum actions possible. Like basically each worker gets one order ever, unless it's building something.
And how do you choose the workers for building? Is it based on which one is closest, or, with mine, it's always what's not mining gas, and then which one's closest, and so on. It's
the closest worker that is not currently holding anything and is not working on the gas.
And it also needs to add a safe path to the location where it wants to build.
So let's say there's a unit attacking our main or something. We won't pick one of those workers, but we might pick one in their second or third to build I don't know what.
So how are you determining that safe path? Are you drawing a pathable line on the map and then saying if there's an enemy within a certain range of that?
Not really, not exactly. At every frame, we check every enemy unit, and every unit, based on their DPS and their movement speed, they're going to generate influence onto a grid map. And then the workers will do pathfinding onto that map to see if it encounters influence. If it does, it's considered as a path that is not safe. So we're gonna check with another worker.
Yeah.
So that was the image that you sent me, wasn't it? The influence map.
Yeah. Basically, you can see it as a big circle around each enemy unit. That's just unpathable path for the workers. So if the worker tries to go through any of it, it's just gonna say unsafe.
And
can you explain that here? Like looking at the screen, what do you?
Yeah. Also, the army units are using it. So like there we see on the screen. The queen that is in the center of the big yellow circle is generating some influence based on its range, and the double square are because the queen can attack on the air and on the ground, and a bit farther we can see that they are single square on the tiles. This is because the queen has a largest longer range.
For air attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
So the small squares are air and the large squares are ground. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Reaper, it do a pathfinding to find a place to go to like dodge the influence and go to the target, which are the workers in the mineral line.
Okay, so when you have multiple enemy units on the screen, you'll see these influence maps overlapping. So
yeah, they combine together.
Able to say, right. So then if there's a path, you might have to walk all the way around multiple influence, or individual enemy unit maps to get to your destination.
Yeah, and this operation can be quite intensive for the CPU. So in C++, it's all right because it's performant, but on Python it's a bit harder. So it's a strategy that can't really be used on Python unless you convert your code to C++ and from Python call your C++ code. So that's still possible, but it's a bit more complicated.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure things like this could be potentially implemented with Python, but you'd have to build it from from the ground up, really, and you'd have to build in all those values about their attack distances and those kinds of things, right? And
well, that's what we had to do. But the real issue is that if you're doing Python is quite slow. If you're doing just bots game, it can be fine. But if you try to play against a player, your bot's going to take an action every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I have noticed when building a Python bot, the more loops you have, the slower and slower it gets. So you really have to spend a lot of time refining your loops, making sure you loop through all the units once and maybe store some calculated values and then do your decision making based on those calculated values instead of looping repeatedly, like give me all the Reapers and then it has to loop through, and then give me all the Queens and it has to loop through. You just do it once, build a list of Reapers, build a list of Queens, and it makes it a lot quicker. But of course, adding all these attack ranges and that kind of thing would, multiply the amount of work that you're doing for each unit, even if you've only got one loop, I guess. So I noticed that the bot will say, I think, what's it? You like the dark arts of invisibility too, or something like that. Is that just chat, or does that actually help you guys to say, oh, okay, it knows that there's a cloaked unit, and therefore it's making a decision at that point that maybe it will need a scan?
Yeah, I made some chat commands just to make it more interesting to watch, but it also helps us to debug, just to make sure that our bot still detects some things. But it's also fun to see a bot that can talk to its opponent.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem to say GLHF or GG or anything like that.
What? Can you repeat?
Sorry?
Your bot doesn't seem to say good luck, have fun, or GG.
No, we know we're going to win. It's not going to be fun.
So let's just have fun. There's no good luck.
No.
Fair enough.